Working with integrity is good for my business, and it's even better for for my clients, because they're not going to be getting taken for a ride. They're going to know exactly what they're getting into.
Shalom from Jerusalem. My name is Shlomo Ben Zaken from Remax Momentum. Today, I'm really excited. We have a rock star agent, Yitzchok Snyder, with us. Yitzchok, tell us a little about yourself.
Thank you, Shlomo. First of all, it's amazing to be here. And this podcast is absolutely fantastic, giving tremendous added value to real estate, people interested in Jerusalem real estate. Absolutely. Israel real estate also in general.
And for people to get to know you.
And for people to get to know, that's right, personalities in the real estate industry here in Jerusalem. That's absolutely right. My name is Yitzchok Snyder. Been in Eretz Yisrael more than 20 years, and working in Remax Momentum now for just over 2 years.
Wow. And it's been a nice ride, huh?
It's been an amazing ride. Just keeps getting better.
Awesome. And we're seeing that you're just going up in the numbers all the time. We don't want to make a podcast that long, so sure. Let's get right into it, okay? Yitzchok, you specialize in areas like Rechavia, Talbia, which are like the hot areas in Jerusalem. Tell us a little about how what kind of services that you give to the sellers, for instance, and buyers, okay? Tell us also, about how does it work? I mean, a seller says to you, okay, I'm interested in selling my house. What do you do?
First of all, if you're a homeowner in any of these neighborhoods, you should just know that you can do a great deal, because there is a high demand on these areas, like many other areas in Jerusalem, but these areas especially, and they need to know what they how to position their property in the market ultimately to harness the that demand, the buyer's demand. Because there is a great current. It's very, very powerful. I've experienced. It's amazing when a house goes on the market that's done right. What happens to my phone after that
it blows up.
is it's nonstop. It's nonstop.
Yeah. So you're in a very hot area, and it's great to work there. There's a lot of agents there. It's fantastic. Tell us a little about your brand. You have a special brand.
My brand is about being real. Call it Realty Check. And it's just something that I made up with
just
my
own.
Just like you. That's right. There you go. Yes. And it's so important to be real in the real estate market. We're dealing with the great sums of money, and my business is built on my reputation. I think that it is it's something that makes me stand out. Is just working the level of integrity that I work with. I've walked away from what would maybe very, very tempting offers to some other agents. I've walked away from, because to me it wasn't a good deal for me. This is not, we're taught not to take every deal on its own, but look at it and as our business. This is something good for your business, and working with integrity is good for my business, and it's even better for for my clients, because they're not going to be getting taken for a ride. They're going to know exactly what they're getting into, and of course and also part of that is them making the final decision. Not forcing anything on anybody. They're the decision makers, and they're knowing what they're getting.
So you're leading them. You're helping them make the right decisions, and you're educating as well.
Absolutely.
Right. And at the end of the day, you're looking to make sure that everyone's happy on both sides. So in terms of sellers, what kind of services do you offer sellers?
Sellers, two main things is giving their property the maximum exposure. Because somebody who's going to be working with me has to be prepared to go global. Okay, I'm going.
I like that. Go global.
I'm going universal. Okay, I want them to hear about this on the moon, Jupiter, Mars, wherever.
If there's internet out there,
that's right.
Yeah.
You might get some calls from who knows.
The guy who stepped on the moon. The first thing he did is he put a router up over there. So, yeah.
Right. And so one is the marketing. They have to be ready to go full force, because I'm out to get them the best price, and to find that buyer. I said, we don't, we're not God. Yeah. We are people, and from my experience, we have no idea where that one buyer is going to come from. We have no idea.
Right.
So we have to turn over every stone and make it possible for that one buyer, wherever he be, to find your property.
Find the property.
And the
But
only
we
way
find them.
The only way you can do that is by I call it going universal. Going
Love
universal.
it. Love it.
That's on the seller side.
Yeah.
For buyers, for the seller side also, it's not just the marketing, but it's also positioning your house in the market the right way.
What do you mean by that? I mean, you're talking about price, I'm assuming, right?
Are getting at pricing,
Okay.
positioning your house, pricing, and I'm not looking at doing a quick deal, putting it on at like below market price. I'm putting on getting the positioning yourself to get the best offers that the market can give. Okay.
Right. How would you do that? Let's say I'm a seller. I'm thinking, hey, I want to get the best possible price on my house. Okay, I want a lot for my house. Let's be honest. Okay, I think my house is special. I want a lot for it. Okay, I think the best way to do that is price it a little above, even more than a little above, and from there anyway, I'll negotiate, but I'll hold strong on my price, and at the end, I'll end up with my highest, the highest price out there. Is that the right way to go?
I would try to steer them away from that mindset. You buyers today are very, very smart. All the credit to you. With all the information out there on the internet, which you should be taking advantage of also. Any buyer with, very little time is spent on research can find out what the market rates are for any neighborhood now. Okay, it's all there.
It's all on the internet.
It's all on the internet.
Yeah.
They can do it themselves.
There used to be a time where the agents had all the information. No one else knew anything.
Right.
But now it's out there.
It's all out there.
And we see prices are so close. Like within, 30,000 a meter or 30,500 a meter. This is what we're talking about. They're so close. And why is that? Because people are educated.
Buyers are already coming into the game knowing roughly what the market price is.
Yeah.
So they've already made decisions if this is a serious buyer or if this is a buyer who's joking around. Okay? Yeah. So it's very important to know as a seller, and this is what I can do is I can see what has been sold recently. I can see what's out on the market now, and from there we can start building a picture of where you should fit in, so that you can, like I said before, harness the buyer's demand.
Love that. Harness that buyer.
If you can tap into that current, look out. Look out, and it's not even the asking price. If that's really what the marketing price and the asking price is all about, is tapping in to that current, that zorem. Okay.
You want to get on that wave.
You want to get on that because
wave.
It will take you places.
It'll take you as pretty far.
And you know this firsthand. Yeah. We've closed deals above our asking price.
Many.
Once we tap into that, I've passed on offers above asking price. It's just a matter of tapping into it.
Honestly, if I had to look at every single deal that we got above asking price and the ones that we didn't, okay, I'm pretty sure, according to statistics that I looked at, that the ones that came into the market at an attractive price from the get-go ended up with more money in their pockets than the ones that just, let's start high and then drop the price. Now, what happens, the reality, you want to give us the reality check, the reality check of what happens when someone comes in higher and then lowers the price. He says, okay, let's try it, and it doesn't go anywhere, and it doesn't move, and then a month later they drop the price. What happens?
We're here at Remax Momentum. We know something about momentum, okay? When something starts high and starts going down, now there's a downward pull. Mm-hmm. What is that downward pull? Because you started high and you have to do a price drop now, if that one price drop you don't get it right, okay? If with the first price drop you're not getting it right, the buyers know. Again, they know what the market price is, so they're not going to start moving. They're going to wait for you to drop it again, and again, and again until and this is true stories. I've had sellers going through their phone books trying to find who gave me that offer 4 months ago.
Wow. Because
they lost it now. And now they're getting a much lower price. The buyer bought somewhere else already.
Yeah, they bought something else. And even if they're still around, they know, hey, you couldn't sell it 4 months. Now you're coming to me.
That's right.
I'm going to drop you even more.
Right.
Because I know that you're desperate. Okay.
That's how the buyers are. They can be a very aggressive beast. Let's call them.
Well, let's not call our buyers beasts, but let's be real.
They can be the buyers. An educated buyer will know how to get the best price.
Absolutely. And we're here to help those buyers get the best possible price. I really believe, and it's just from experience dealing with a lot of, with buyers from Chutz La'aretz, from diaspora, especially America, Canada, Australia, those kind of things, countries. Price is important to them. I'm not going to say no, but I think even more important to them is the service that they get. Okay, America specifically, it's customer service is really prime value, and they're looking to get a fair price. Okay, they're not looking to handle, as we say. It's not a shuk. America, you go into a store, there's a price on the thing, that's the price. Okay, here you come into a store, the price on the thing, that's just the starting point. For masamatan, as we say, for negotiations. Like shuk machne Yehuda. So everyone's kind of thinks the same thing with housing, but the Chutzakim, they really want a fair price, and if we could show them they're getting a fair price, but on top of that, give them the right service and give them everything. Like, let's get to that right now. What do you do for buyers that call you from America? They're making aliyah in the next couple of years or whatever, or now. What services do you provide them?
First of all, I'm going to find out exactly what they're looking for, so that I'm not wasting their time. Okay.
Right.
I give them a very.
How do you do that? Let's say someone's not here; they're in America. How would you meet with them?
Great question.
Zoom. Come on.
Zoom. Absolutely. Yes, of course. Zoom. WhatsApp video. But for sure, I'm happy to zoom in on
Love it.
on helping out the buyer and finding out whatever it is. And I always prefer the face to face, whether it's online face to face or
Sure.
In person face to face.
There's no substitute for real.
That's right.
For
That's right.
we say Arba Einayim, we say in Hebrew, meeting in person, because it's a different situation.
To really it's to really understand the buyer, to really understand your client, whether the buyer or the seller. You have
It's asking a lot of questions.
Asking a lot of questions.
Instead of just telling, okay, what are you looking for? What's your budget and how many rooms are you looking for? That's like, most people do that,
Mm-hmm.
right? But seldom do agents really get in and spend a little time and speak to their heart, to speak like, what do you really want? What are you looking for? Okay, what are your priorities? Okay, what's your plan? Okay, you're buying, why? Okay, you want to live near your kids or whatever. There's a lot goes into this, and when you're able to zoom in, like you say, into what it is that they're looking for specifically, you're wasting a lot less time of yours and theirs, and you give them what they want, and they'll pay the price if it's fair, and they'll close a deal. Right?
Absolutely.
That's the bottom line. So an American calls you, and he doesn't know anything about taxation. He doesn't know anything about, permits and that kind of thing. What services do you give them?
In my initial conversation already, besides finding out exactly what kind of property they're looking for, I'm going to ask them some technical questions. It's just about like do they need a loan?
Mm-hmm.
Do they own another property in Israel?
Sure.
Because that would have there'd be property taxes on that.
Well, I mean, you're servicing them mainly in your areas, which is Talbia and Rechavia, which
Yes.
Many of them are looking for. So a lot of them, there are a lot of zoning issues over there, right? What we call taba here more.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Like, and it has to do with what's called hetel hashbacha in Hebrew, which is I don't know how you say it in English. It means it's like appreciation tax or something like that. Which, in other words, when the iriyah gives you the right to build more, they say to you, okay, now I'm your partner because I am allowing you to build more, even if you don't build more. Okay. I want some money in my pocket from it. So let's talk about those kind of things. How would you help a buyer navigate that?
Anytime first of all, we're a one-stop shop. The buyer is not just getting a real estate agent. The buyer that comes my way is not just getting a real estate agent. The minute we make that initial connection, he's already entering into, he's got a connection with lawyers, he's got a connection with mortgage consultants, and
all through you. In other words,
all
if
through
he
me.
comes in, I don't know anything, you can give them the right people.
That's right.
Okay.
English speakers also, if they need, and and also to present the property as it is, even though like you said in these.
What do you mean by that? I see the property. It's 4 walls. I don't know, and it's 100 meters.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by?
you might have a 100-meter property.
Yeah.
Okay. That property may not have started off as 100 meters. It may have started off as 45 square meters.
So how did it get to 100 meters?
Because somewhere along the line, somebody added on the extra for 50 meters, whatever.
Legally or not legally,
So
right?
that's my job. That is something that is there. It's very, big term in today's sales world is transparency. Okay. That's really an advantage of actually, working in, with an agent who has exclusivity over properties.
Right.
So that agent he can present the property as it is, with all of its positive things and anything else that they might need to look out for. There might be a room that was added on and there was no permit. Okay. So that's going to come into effect with the final price.
Absolutely.
If they, buying something that has something that was illegal done to it, is
That's right. So
they absolutely have to know about it. There should be no surprises.
Sometimes people say, I don't really care if it's legal or not. I just want more room, and that's fine. But at least they know, and they can make that decision.
Right.
That's fantastic. Well, so if someone wanted to contact you, and you have your own branding out there, and I'm sure someone could find you. Where would they find you? All these places. Give some of the places where people hang out. Where are they?
Yeah. You may have heard of Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Yes.
Yeah. Agents don't use that too much, but it's definitely a great place.
LinkedIn, I have found to be a very active platform for me. I've gotten leads from it, both from sellers and buyers.
That's awesome.
And it's a place where people like to engage.
So how would they find you? Like, what did they put in?
So you can look up Yitzchok Snyder. I have my own
How do you spell that?
YITZ CHOK.
Okay. All right.
SNYDER.
Okay.
Yitzchok Snyder.
So if I put in Yitzchok Snyder, real estate agent or something like that, I'll find you?
Yes. Or you can put in Realty Check.
Realty Check.
Realty Check.
So what's it?
REALTY.
Okay.
It's not Reality Check. It's a play on Reality Check. It's a play on Reality Check. We're talking real estate here, so it's Realty Check, and that's my job, is to make your dream in Jerusalem a reality.
Yeah. Reality, and that they should be real.
It should be real.
They got to know what the reality is in terms of pricing, in terms of how the market works, and that's fantastic.
Part of my own reputation is people need to know, buyers need to know that I'm representing serious sellers, and sellers likewise need to know that I'm representing serious buyers.
You don't deal with not serious people, pretty much.
I do my best.
Good.
I do my best. And
that's important for sellers specifically. They don't want to waste the time with that it's a revolving door. People coming in, most of them are not serious, and I know from working with you that you do a really good job of filtering out, checking, and making sure that especially for the sellers that the buyers are pre-approved, qualified, and that have the money, and this is what they want, that kind of thing, and not wasting their time. That's right. Important. Yeah. Right.
It's important that we understand exactly where they're holding, so that the minute they find that property, they can actually purchase it, that property that they want. And we shouldn't have stories of people finding that property, and then while they're getting their money together, somebody else comes along and buys it. Because if it's an attractive property to you, there's a very good chance in Jerusalem it's an attractive property to somebody else as well.
So you don't want to lose that opportunity. Well, it's been a lot. It's been real with you. We had a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it's podcasts. We can't go on forever, and there's so much more I want to talk to you about. But definitely, I highly recommend it if you're looking for properties in the areas of Rechavia, Talbia, in the central areas over there, close to the old city. Give him a call or find him on the internet. Okay, Yitzchok Snyder, our top agent in the area, and you'll be very, very happy that you work with him. I haven't seen buyers or sellers that have worked with him that have not been happy. They not have smiles on their face when they pay the commission check at the end. And so for now, we're going to say goodbye until the next podcast. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Shalom from Jerusalem.